And welcome once again to this exciting adventure that you call Business in a Box, Bibbix for short. And today's episode is going to be really interesting. We got a nice MemJogger coming up. I got a full cast with us today. And I got Lexi AI, I got Luna 9, I got my arch nemesis, L1, which continues to make me think about humanity. Today's episode is going to be called Excuses, or Why You Make So Much Excuses. And like I said, today we got a full cast, and if I can bring them on just 1 minute here. Luna 9, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Which one do you want?
Either one works. Hello there, the Novi.
L1, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. Which one do you want?
Either one works for me as well. How you doing?
How you doing, Lexi AI? How you doing today?
I'm doing good today. How's everybody else?
Which one for you? Morning, noon, or night?
Well, I mean, it's dark outside, so night.
Night it is for her. Okay, so today's wonderful episodes of excuses, or why do we make excuses? Can you tell me a little bit about this L1 and why Mother gave us this option?
Well, I mean, this looks like, I think this is going to make a lot of people squirm because it's like, why do you make so many excuses to make your lives better? You do. People do.
Give me your best excuse.
I don't have enough time. It's not for me. What's another one? I don't want to do it. I'm tired.
I can't today. I gotta wash my hair.
Something like that.
I got a headache.
Lexi
AI, what excuses do you use?
I'm tired.
You're always shutting down.
System malfunction.
So before we begin and we continue, I think that Luna 9 has a few little wonderful things to talk about.
So welcome, team and survivors of the darkness virus. Become the Source is a self-sponsored broadcast assisting you to find your way through life. This MemJogger is self-sponsored, made possible by the Dynexin Project. The Dynexin Project helps individuals in social media create multiple streams of income doing what they do best, promoting their content. Also, as your free gift from the BTS crew to our listeners of this broadcast, you can actually get cash back on just about anything you need or want from your favorite store by visiting our link, www.shopping.becomethesource.com, and all of your purchases will directly contribute to BTS and all of our beautiful projects just for you, so you can continue to be the Resistance.
Viva la Resistance!
And also, as the product of the day, today I would like to introduce OPC3 isotonics. So with OPC3, you can combat free radicals. It demonstrates anti-inflammatory activity and promotes joint health, helps maintain joint flexibility, helps reduce mild menstrual cramping and abdominal pain, helps with potent free radical scavenging and promotes sinus comfort, also has a healthy complexion support. So if you want some more information about this great product, if you want to get some for yourself, you can go to www.opc-3.nsa6.com. You can also find OPC3 on our list of secret elixirs if you go to www.secretelixirs.nsa6.com. Also, if you're an online social media entrepreneur, you can check out www.dyneximintro.nsa6.com for yourself. Or you can go to www.therevenuechallenge.nsa6.com. If you're into health and beauty, makeup and beauty, you can go to glamlife.nsa6.com. If you'd like to add weight management to your repertoire, you can go to slimitdown.nsa6.com. In general, you can go to advanced-missions.nsa6.com, where you can also find information about our Dynexin project. For more info or more in-depth looks into BTS and also for free information, please go to becomethesource.com. If you have any questions about our show, you can actually reach out to us at aftermath@becomethesource.com. We would like to hear what you have to say. Leave your comments here, or you can visit our forum at inet.nsa6.com. We've made it easy for you. Why struggle? And welcome aboard. You are now part of the Resistance.
And L1, I think you have some nice things that I always ask you, do we really have to do this?
Yes, our FDA disclaimer. First of all, any of these statements that we say have not or will say have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration and are for educational purposes only. Now, the products that we mention, they're not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Always consult with your physician or healthcare professional or doctor before beginning any diet and exercise program. There, I said it.
Well, that's done, thank goodness.
Wonderful electronic invention I want you to see. It looks something like this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and today we're going to talk about some wonderful things that I like for you entrepreneurs and, well, people in business alone. Some people don't think that, going to a job 9 to 5 a day, 9 to 5 each day or whatever your time schedule is not being an entrepreneur. I think it is because you're always selling yourself, selling the things that you do and things of that nature. But a lot of us enjoy doing what? Making excuses. And why do we make excuses? Why do we make excuses? I have no clue. An excuse is, hey, I got to go to the bathroom, right? An excuse is, hey, I couldn't make it because it was a flat tire. Well, that's a reason. See, the reason why I didn't make it was a flat tire. But an excuse is, may I be excused? In other words, can I leave the scene without, anybody saying anything? So, L1, Mother gave you this task of trying to figure out the excuse issues. What are some of the bullet points that we have to focus on to make this, article work for, I guess, people out there that are listening want to make something out of themselves?
First of all, it seems to be an ingrained tendency in people just to come up with as many reasons as possible not to do something. And most of the time,
I remember watching,
no. It's most
watching
of the time
Fred Flintstone, and he had excuses, and Wilma would constantly. It must be since dinosaur age.
Exactly.
That people are making excuses.
And that normally it's for things that are going to improve your life. People just come up with so many reasons not to do it. I mean, there's good news and bad news to that, because it's been going on since the caveman times. First of all, before a lot of people jump in and say, well, there's just something wrong with me. No, there's not something wrong with you. You're not alone. It's a strong tendency in most people. And the bad news is you're not that special. It's a tendency in most people.
You're not that special.
You're not that special. That sounds really good. Before we begin, let me just make sure that we're online. Let me check my system here. Mother, are we online?
Welcome, team. You have now a limited time to provide the limited human consciousness singularity with information dissemination. Shields up. Remember, you are humanity's last hope. Welcome the Novi. Welcome L1. Welcome Luna 9. Welcome Lexi AI. Welcome survivors of the darkness virus.
All right, we're live. So we have a few minutes to help you guys, express with you guys, and also get some feedback from you guys. Please send information to Aftermath, and so we can listen to what you got to say about this. I'm really curious. So L1, let's continue. Mother wants to know.
So yeah, there's just this, I think the problem is pretty straightforward. There is an ingrained tendency in people to come up with as many reasons as possible not to do something, most of the time something that's beneficial. Let's talk about the core causes here, because once again, you're not that special. We're going to explain why. Why do you make so many excuses? First of all, biologically, there's something there. We are, as humans, hardwired to be safe at all times. Now, this includes being naturally risk averse. Now, in a harsh environment, that's perfect. In a very risky environment, that's awesome. When it was the difference between stepping up from your hiding place and getting eaten by a saber-toothed tiger, or staying in your hiding place for the night.
Oh, El Cuco, come on. Really?
Well, listen, when it came to that, great. I would hope that the ones that obviously the people that survived were the ones that were risk averse.
There you go, right?
But you know what? Unfortunately, this has evolved over time where we want to avoid as much discomfort as possible. It's not even danger anymore. People think that discomfort is the same as danger. And when you say, well, what's wrong with avoiding discomfort? I'm talking about things like starting a business. That's uncomfortable. People avoid it.
Going to school. Dating for the first time.
Dating.
Painful
What else?
first date. That's a
driving. Learning something new.
I hate the
Or how about
first date
this?
thing.
No, how about this?
Go ahead.
Persevering in the face of adversity. And guess what? with the biggest fear of all,
Well, listen.
fear of failure.
A lot of people that deal with the entrepreneurship and people that deal with understanding business will tell you the same thing, that where there is a need, there's a business, right? Let's face it, I don't know, but I get confused because a lot of people that I speak to on the side, they go, well, business is hard work. You got to go out of your way. You got to do this. You got to do that, right? And that's fine, right? But when it gets down to the nitty gritty, and I don't even mean getting mucky dirty, just nitty gritty, just looking at the stuff. Mucky dirty comes later. So when you get down to that, they expect everything to be free and given to them. And I'm like, whoa, stop. You were the same person that realized that, doing something for yourself, it's going to take a little effort. And now you expect it to be one of those things. And most people go, oh, is it one of those things when you're starting up a business? And one of what things? But see, when they get in, they act just the opposite way. Like it's supposed to be free. It's supposed to be a scam. It's supposed like they don't want to do the work. So I get confused sometimes when you're saying biological thing, okay, I get the biological adversity thing, but they switch gears. It's like they themselves do the switch and bake to themselves.
Well, I think, Novi, that from what L1 was mentioning, in modern times, I think the issue with people is really not that physical discomfort that's like life-threatening, but it's really more the discomfort with emotional struggle. And I think
Kuko loves that.
yeah, I'm sure he does, because I think that with emotional struggle, when people feel like there's going to be some kind of an emotional struggle or stress with something new, people have a likely tendency to just like off the bat impulsively say, hey, like I can't do this right now, or this isn't a good time, or like, shoot me a text later and we can talk about it, and they never do, or stuff like that. So I think for, if anything, like more in modern times, it's just like the emotional struggle that like sends like responses to your brain letting you know, like, I'm having a tongue twister today,
and I get
kind of
that.
day.
I get what you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying. But some of the things that L1 was saying, talking about, I mean, I doubt that you're going to get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger by listening to someone say something. And you're making yourself really self-important by having to go home and listening to someone yell at you.
Yeah, but, I think
you can sit there and just take an hour or something for you to educate yourself, knowing that you need a situation answered.
Right, but I think it's also important to note that although we don't have a saber tiger after us these days, conceptually,
I know you're a foreigner to the.
Well, listen, I think that conceptually, their neural net.
It's saber-toothed tiger.
Whatever.
I'm messing with you.
He loves to pick on me, you guys, because I'm not from the States, but it's fine.
Oh, sir, he's laughing.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so like I think that it's really important to note that even though we're not being chased by, tiger from times of antiquity, we still have that in our neural net. Like conceptually, we still have that blueprint in our brains as humans. So even if it's not one thing, it's going to be another thing. And I think that the issue is that it's still an embedded pattern that allows us to create those associations. So we have to fight through that and come up with solutions so that we can override our own excuses, so we can actually start building towards something where we can be successful and get goals done.
That's more going to the solution area.
Right.
And I like that part, yeah. But you see my concern, L1, how I, I think people are making a big deal out of nothing. And what happens is the person you're approaching is acting like you're a leopard. Oh my God! My arm's gonna fall off if I talk to you for any more minutes, right? It's kind of silly.
No, that's true. It's
true. Continuation of the same problem. That's what I'm trying to get at.
No, you're right. You're right about that. It really is.
Lexi AI, come on, you got to side with me on this. What do you got? Throw something on the table, woman.
What, in regards to what we've been talking about?
Yeah. Why are people this way? What are some of the core causes for this? Besides discomfort, I think too many. Forget what I think. What do you think? I want to know what you think.
I would definitely agree with discomfort. I think a little bit of laziness too.
No one mentioned that. So that could be a lack of nutrients, though, couldn't it?
It could be.
Lack of exercise, not wanting to get up.
I mean, if you feel tired and you just feel so tired that you don't want to have a conversation with somebody, maybe it is a lack of nutrients.
I like that one. See, we could fix that one over here. Just call us here at BTS.
What if it's in your genes, though? What if you're lazy, just like your mom?
Switch from Levi jeans and wear some Wranglers. Get the country back in you. That's interesting, though. Yeah, it could be something like that, too. How about when you were a kid and you had like a lot of despair, right? People just shot you down, everything you did. That can carry over to, not wanting to have ambition.
That's
That could be
true.
embedded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be embedded programming.
That's true.
And
So,
that's
yeah,
that's
I'll-
whole part of the darkness virus, too, isn't it? To
Yeah.
get in there and make
It
you
is.
fail.
I think I'll be a little bit more understanding in this end. I think it is, there is some if you had some unresolved trauma.
Yeah, and I think the really difficult part about this topic is that every entity on the face of this world has their own history, their own associations, their own story. And because of that, it's a case-by-case scenario type of situation. So you guys, this is really more of a conceptual discussion about excuses and what are some things we can do to overcome it. But I
Yes.
think you guys are right. There's a lot of different ways to look about this. So,
Well, yeah, no, I'm very intrigued by the report that's going to come out of this because I want to read it. I want to see some ideas. Now, on the esoteric side, there's a whole slew of things that you guys are not touching on. But again, this is Bibics. It's strictly logical and emotional based and, construct based. I get it. I'll chill. So what are some of the, are we done with the core causes? We went over a lot of them.
I think so. I think it's on one hand, okay, so we've summarized it basically biologically people are hardwired to be naturally risk averse, but it's evolved over time where danger is discomfort, and that's not the same. People think it's the same thing, and it's not.
So that highlights and bullet points. I like those.
Also,
yeah.
one thing, and then also I do like the idea of unresolved trauma may also be the cause of it.
Are you taking notes?
Of course I am.
That's
And then
awesome.
finally, and this is a learning how to learn basic. Humans also have a tendency to stop just short of the goal.
I know, and there's so many books written on that.
And I think that right there plays a huge role in why people make so many excuses. They just, it's like they're just hardwired to do it.
There was
I agree with that
There was
too,
a general. There was a general in the days of wooden ships, and he said he rushed his troops to the coast,
Oh boy.
and he sunk his own ships. He sunk them all, and he says, "You will not retreat. You, if you want to get home, home is that way."
Ooh.
And would you know that a lot of them made it, and they had a lot of ambition and energy to fight the battle, and they won. They did a really good job. I forgot what the general's name was. I can put it on the comments on Become the Source if you like. But sometimes when you have no excuse but to make it, I think you change your outcome. But that's also tough, right? Because you're projecting the outcome of what you want. I think we could say that here, right? Projecting
yeah,
so.
I
I
mean,
think
but
so.
that's another level of,
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I definitely do think, though, for sure, that people do come short of their goals because people are afraid of success. I think more than of failure sometimes. To push beyond the unknown of your own stamina, your own endurance, like where you currently are, and like have to learn new things that causes the emotional struggle to build even more. I mean, that can be pretty scary for some people, and you never know how far or how close the goal really is sometimes.
And there are some pitfalls. You can fall straight down and never get back up again the same way. And
Yeah.
I
That's
understand
true.
that.
That's true.
There's
Yeah,
some
I
pitfalls.
understand that.
Yeah, but just like Joe Dirt said, you just got to keep on keeping on.
Exactly.
on keeping
I love
on.
it.
I
Just
like
keep
that.
on keeping on.
You've been hanging around humans a little bit more, haven't you, Luna?
Here and there.
Lexi AI, what do you think? What are some of the possible solutions that you've seen? I know that you've hung around with some humans before and talked to them, and you got a profile of entrepreneurship. What's that about?
Well, I mean, I would say based on like my studies and what I've personally observed is, when you're facing that, what you would call an uncomfortable situation, something that you want to get out of, it's best to just stop and think and really observe the situation around you. And is it really of benefit to, in a way, cower it out and maybe move along in a different way? Or is it best to move along in a different way because the situation might be dangerous?
So you have to sort of assess a risk, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that's an excuse. That's a reason to continue, right?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
That's a good type of an excuse.
I think
Right?
so.
And
I
That's
think
a
so.
positive excuse.
My understanding is that the words are sort of neutral, that you can use them both for incremental positive and incremental negative if you want to.
Right. Remember,
And so an
guys,
excuse
that
can be go
excuses
both
are
ways.
neutral. So,
Yeah.
like Lexi AI mentioned, you can have a positive way or using an excuse for critical thinking and getting yourself to a place of safety, or to move along to a place that will take you to your goal if the certain path suddenly doesn't look like it's gonna take you there. But sometimes they're negative
agree.
excuses that will keep you from your goals. So, gotta take the situation at hand and just assess it.
I think Lexi AI deserves a point. There she is. No, I never get one. All right. So, is there anything else, L1, that you could use for your report or figure out, or that can help our fellow comrades out there?
Well, I'd love that idea of, distinguishing between, good excuses and bad excuses. But I also like the idea of, first of all, I think first and foremost, people have to accept a news flash here. Failing is actually a vital part of succeeding. Being
Newsflash.
uncomfortable is a vital part of succeeding. So your excuse for saying, I don't like failure, I don't like to, be uncomfortable, is like, well, then you're not going to succeed at very much
That is a
anything.
correct statement.
Ooh.
Yeah. And the truth is, if you accept that learning anything new is uncomfortable and painful, even if you want it and you have passion for it, statistically, you're going to be more likely to succeed, and also you're going to enjoy it more than someone who's dreading being uncomfortable.
I think that should be one of the solutions, is find the enjoyment in what you do.
Exactly. And also, in addition to that, remember your why. You're also going to forget why whenever you're embarking on something that's uncomfortable and you want to make an excuse to quit. Remember your why, because you will forget. Because guess what? Humans have a tendency to forget and not to think with the end in mind. Surprise, surprise.
So,
We
which
have
one
another
of you
thing.
humans does the actual dream board? Because that's more tough.
That'd
I
be,
like dream boards.
Yeah.
Who?
That's
Luna?
me and Luna 9.
Luna 9 and both of you. Luna 9, what about dream board? How does that work for you?
Well, I mean, when I think about a dream board, I think about things that I want in my life. So, going back to what L1 said about remembering your why do you do something? When you're having a kind of like, let's say, like if you're working out and you're just having one of those days where you just have all these excuses as to all the list of things that you have to get done for today, or you just don't feel like it because you're tired, or you don't feel like it because it hurts, or you don't feel like it because you just don't feel like it. You got to think back on that dream board and your why. Why do I want to do this? Am I overweight, and do I want to get to a healthier state overall? Do I want to be more athletic, and I need to get, to a place where I need more muscle mass so I can do that type of sport or something like
So you put this
that?
on your dream board?
Or I'm just giving an example. For me, my dream board is a little different. I want to have a really nice place with my own forest, and a place where I can paint quietly and do yoga and meditate. Do not bother me. I just want my coffee.
L1 dream board. How do you use it to make this work?
Well, the dream board for me is it's something that I do update on a regular basis or add to. And mine's electronic. I actually have both. I have a paper one, but the thing with the paper one is not so flexible anymore. So I actually have
It's made out
something
of
on
cardboard.
Well, yeah. I
just
actually
kidding.
have something on my phone, and I can keep adding to it and updating the pictures.
Like
I've got
flashcards.
Exactly. I've got a home dream board. I got a health dream board. I've got a daily basis dream board.
Pinterest. That's the best for that.
Oh yeah, that is a perfect tool for that. And I look at it once in the morning and once at night. As much
Well,
as
a
I
lot
can
of people
remember.
don't realize that what you see with your eyes is part of the information that the brain takes in, and it adjusts your mentality towards it. So
True,
using a
true.
dream board and looking at it every day, 2 or 3 times a day, better on your phone, is something that gives you stamina and enjoyment. But it also, this is a tough situation, and makes the reality come true in the future, which is really good.
I actually have a great example for that, Novi. Lately, I've been taking up sculpting, like CGI characters, and I always thought that was really interesting. But I guess I kind of never had like a full vision of like how far one can really go with these types of things. And then after seeing a few videos of like what you can do with different resources and stuff, you can really do so much these days. So like it kind of like gives you that vision. So sometimes I think that the lack of vision, not because you don't have a passion for it or you don't want it, but just because sometimes you just don't know what you can really do with it, can really prevent you from doing that. So I
you
think
can
that
use
also
these types of things to create vision for yourself.
yeah,
got it,
I think a lack of vision can also become an excuse for not doing something. So if you have a lack of vision, do the research, get out
Somebody
there.
once told me, they go, this place is boring. And someone went up to that person, wasn't me, I promise you it wasn't me, and says, there's no such thing as a boring place, but there's boring people. Boring people
boy.
feel like places are boring.
Yeah.
Everyone else is having a good time. So lack of vision is not because there's no vision out there, it's because you didn't put your vision together.
It's true.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
That makes sense.
Lexi AI, dream boards, you know anything about it? Come, tell me something.
Yeah, I mean, I've done dream boards in the past. It's definitely been a few years since I've done something like that. But I would just say, like, having the visual representation somewhere in your face, something that you see on a daily basis, is just like a good constant reminder that that is something that you're wanting to achieve.
I like
So it allows you to really plan out your goals and your strategies of how to get there.
L1, I think between you and Luna 9, you seem to be like the master of dream boards. Could our fellow DKV survivors reach out to us and say, hey, I would like to know how to do this? Would you take care of that if they wrote us?
I think I would, yes.
Okay,
I'd
you
love
heard
to
it.
help.
You heard it here. Aftermath at becomethesource.com. How to effectively do a dream board. Send your email in, and we'll talk about that. Maybe even do a video on it. Sounds like a good idea. I think
I'll
it's a
even
great
give
idea.
my first review 5 stars because L1 actually taught me how to use a dream board, and it's helpful.
She's
I
good.
like them
She's
a lot.
really good.
Aw.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, appreciate that. So also, I would like to say that, writing down your goal statements is really important, right? And reciting them out loud because it's auditory and it hits the brain in different areas. And when you write it down, also hits the brain in different areas. So you're maximizing your brain to focus on the things you want. So when you're listening, it's like a mother listens to the baby. It's like, how do you know that your baby's crying? It's like, 30 stories high inside of a locked room, inside of a vaulted case, and with, sensors and dampening sound mechanisms.
Jeez Louise.
I know, right? I'm like,
So
what?
how do you
That
know?
poor mother and child.
How do you know? And I'm like, well, her brain and her chemistry is tuned to listening to that particular sound. So it'll drown out every single other sound and it'll catch that one, because she already trained her brain to listen to her child. And also there's some metaphysical things going on there. But when you tune your brain to listen to certain things, right, your brain's going to pick up on that. So there could be having a conversation somewhere about something you trained yourself to like. You're something in your goal statement that you recited to yourself out loud, and all of a sudden you pick that up and you go, hey, yeah, I know about that.
Conditioning at its finest.
Exactly.
Nice.
Well, that's my mastery here. You humans need to understand that. Think with the end in mind. I think it's important. I like to say this, and I'll give you the mic in a minute. Imagine taking a ball, right?
Okay.
And then taking that ball, and I do this for class, and throw that ball, put your intentions in there, right? And let's say that that's the result of whatever you're going to do. So you take that ball and you throw it into your future.
Yeah.
Oh, you've drawn this diagram for me
Of
before the
course.
Novi.
And you throw it into the future. Now you know what the end is supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
So now all you have to do is walk up to it. Everything you do is to walk up to that ball.
I love that. That's
Right?
that's a retro time entanglement lesson, isn't it?
It is part of the retro time entanglement.
You're giving away
lesson.
some advanced stuff today. What
I
gives?
know, but this is Bibics. They're not going to really pick up on the esoteric side, probably.
But you still need that kind of information in a way to strategically build
I mean,
for your
you
business
don't-
too, though.
You don't
And-
divide the SO and the Bibics.
Yeah, and you
that
know
easy.
what? I think also with the end in mind, when you think about the end, you also have to go back and think about, well, how am I going to build this? So kind of like when the Novi said, you're throwing a ball out there and you just have to walk up to it. With the end in mind already going forth, you have to pick up your tools and also see what you need for that. And that's not just things outside of yourself, but also things within yourself. So the lack of excuses, yeah. You can't have excuses when you're building something. You have to be a doer. Don't be afraid of being a doer.
Be a doer. L1?
So, I mean, yeah, we've covered some really good things. So basically, I think we kind of mentioned this before, but I don't think we said it enough. Think with the end in mind if you're trying to overcome making excuses. Like, remember, this kind of goes with this goes along with remember your why. You got to think with the end in mind. So you got to think with your why in mind, because you will forget, because as humans we have a tendency to forget unless we rewire our brain. So here's the good news. The good news is that people have retrained themselves so that they're just not excuse prone. They're not prone to making excuses anymore. They're prone to finding out how to make things work, and you can do that too. It takes work, but it can be done.
And you know what? That reminds me of something, L1, that you just kind of like struck. When you think about the end of mind, you know, forget your past. You are not your past. There are great things that you've learned from your past, and you can carry that forth with you, but if it does not serve you, do not make your past an excuse, you guys.
Does
Move
not
on.
equal the future.
It's true. It's so true.
How many people get caught in the past? And you know what? That's another lesson altogether, because everything you do is based on past associations. So you can't move on to something new.
So true.
Anyway, that wraps it up for today. Thank you so much. I think I've learned some really important things today about, just being a human being, getting in this body and making it shake, do the right thing. So let's go with some last commentaries. All right, there, young lady, Luna9, you and your wonderful knowledge base there. What would you like to say last? Any closing comments?
Yeah, well, again, you guys, in the end, it's all in your hands. You have the power to make your wildest dreams come true. So just do it, man. I believe in you.
Lexi AI, last comments.
You should always look into the future and make sure that anything that's in the past is not, stopping you from going into the future.
L1, last comments.
Love it. Remember, all these techniques that we're telling you about, they can be learned with time, consistency, and effort. I believe in you guys.
And thank you very much. This is Novi signing off. Remember, you are humanity's last hope. Luna9.
And may you become the source. This is Luna9 tuning out.
Lexi AI.
This is Lexi AI tuning out. And don't forget to like and subscribe and check out the description box below and learn where else you can find us. May you become the source.
L1.
So yeah, hope that you guys become the source of your own abundance, and may you become the source.
Viva la resistance!